For in holding the voice of the I Am is the mouthpiece through which the ascended master's instruction can reach the students quickly. That the most powerful work possible for America and the world may be done by the students to release the greatest light in the shortest time. It will also contain information as to where the accredited messengers, Mr. and Mrs. G. W. Ballard and son Donald, are teaching the Ascended Master's instruction on the I Am. Information. The information given under the heading of Young America will be the Ascended Master's help to the young people for their protection and illumination, as they are the builders of the new civilization and are the channels through which the Ascended Masters will give their light for the use of the outer world in the golden I Am age. This magazine is not an outlet for articles from the students, but is the outpouring of the help from the Ascended Masters and has no human concepts in it. AINT, Thou wondrous, mighty I Am presence, the full individualized expression of the Christ. We rejoice and call forth thy greatest activity on this Christmas day, that thy light may expand within the hearts of the students and of all mankind, to lift them into the fullness of that perfection which thou art. Today, as never before, clothe them with the conscious ability of their right and power to call thy love, wisdom, and power into action to enliven their worlds with the love, peace, harmony, and the abundance of all good which every heart sincerely craves. We thank thee, it is done. In the closing hour of this day, which has been set aside for more fully entering into the worship of the Christ power. God, individualized in action. When mankind rejoices so exceedingly in blessing with gifts one to another, oh, that they might understand the fullness of their privilege to give attention and adoration to their mighty I Am presence with such earnestness and determination that they would consciously release those infinite gifts of perfection which the presence ever holds ready to release into their use, at their earnest, determined call. My heart so greatly rejoices with the students, who have been brought under the radiation of Saint Germain and the great host of Ascended Masters, that words seem inadequate to express the great feeling of love and gratitude that goes out from my heart as I witness the great blessings that have come to thousands throughout America and which are now spreading to other countries. Knowing that with the assistance of the great cosmic law, it is just the beginning of the great expansion and expression of this great light which Saint Germain has brought forth. In your appreciation and gratitude for all that has come forth, can you imagine our rejoicing in all that has been accomplished in one short year? Then, knowing how much greater will be the expansion of light and freedom that will bless mankind during 1936, is it not worth all the conscious effort that all of the I Am students can make for their own freedom and the freedom of those still looking for their one and only source, the mighty I Am presence? It really would be quite apropos to call Christmas Christ expansion, for with the joy that fills the hearts of mankind, and especially the children on Christmas, it has been a sacred day in that the attention of mankind is more firmly held upon myself as Jesus the Christ, and it does enable the Christ light within each heart to find greater expansion than through the entire balance of the year. To the students of the I Am presence, every day becomes a Christmas day, and through the earnest, determined call of the individual, the wondrous gifts of the presence are released into the use of mankind. No one thing, since my ministry 2,000 years ago, is of more vital importance to mankind than the chart of the presence which is available to the students. For in holding the vision of the position of the presence before the individual, it compels the outer consciousness to accept the truth that the presence is there, that it actually beats the heart of everyone, Then all must know with definite, unquestionable assurance that they can release without limit the intelligent activity and power to accomplish every constructive purpose the outer expression may desire, and this without struggle or confusion. It only requires the earnest, determined call of the individual to the presence long enough to dissolve the human shell of limitation that the personality has drawn about it, which has no power of itself except what the human gives to it. To withdraw all power from human creation of yourself or others, and give it to the mighty I Am presence where it belongs, is the key that unlocks the treasure house of the universe to flow in a ceaseless stream into the life of the individual, producing its perfection. This was the exact process that I used in my own experience, which enabled me to dissolve all undesirable qualities about individuals and set them free in the light of their own mighty I Am presence.
It was thus that I was enabled to perform the so-called miraculous healings.
Today, any sincere student of the I Am can, with practice, produce those same miraculous healings and enable all who will give sincere attention to the presence to have complete and eternal freedom from any undesirable creation or condition. Beloved children of the light, every ascended master has, through this simple but majestic process, set himself free from all human limitations. It only requires your sincere, determined acknowledgement, acceptance, and practice of the presence to enable you to perform any so-called miraculous feat. All is a perfectly natural process when understood. The beauty and marvels of calling the presence into action to accomplish a given purpose upon which the attention is fixed is that it cannot fail, for the presence knows no opposition in the entire universe. Your sincere, determined call is as though you withdrew the bolt that opens the floodgates of the universe, to rush to your assistance to accomplish the requirements of your call. We, who have passed through this experience and have attained our complete freedom, are truly enabled to be the way-showers for those of mankind who have not yet attained their freedom. And those who can accept fully and joyously these words of truth which I speak, not only can, but will have their complete freedom. Those who allow the human creation of doubt and fear to prevent them feeling and accepting this truth must still go on generating more limitation until their distress becomes so great that they frantically call with such intensity for relief that they break through the human shell and allow the power of the presence to pour forth and give release. The light and freedom brought to mankind during the past 14 months is unparalleled by anything we have ever witnessed since the height of the last great civilization on Atlantis. This has come about through the assistance of the great cosmic law, which at this time is making possible such assistance as has never been known in the history of the earth. As this great, dissolving, consuming activity moves forth, all human limitation must dissolve and disappear, and with it all human selfishness. The truth that this is the permanent, golden, or I Am age for the earth easily explains this. Ways and means will open for this conscious acceptance of the mighty I Am presence to come to great numbers of children and young people, which will cause an astonishing transformation among mankind. I urge the students everywhere, with all the love at my command, to forget everything else you have ever studied. Stand 100% in and with your mighty I Am presence and the I Am discourses by Saint Germain, and you will have such freedom, such joy, such accomplishment that will forever dissolve all doubt and fear from your consciousness. When such great freedom is at your door, just for your acceptance and application, can you understand how great is our love and desire to fully enable you to grasp these simple, majestic laws, that you may have the same freedom which we experience? However, this can only come through your joyful, willing acceptance and application of this truth which we give. I say to the students with so great a love, have patience in your application, for no one knows when or how soon your mighty I Am presence may release its full power and freedom into action. In your application, take your firm stand that right now I accept and experience my full and complete freedom from all human creation and limitation. Then, as you go forward, try to feel the fullness of this until you actually experience the completeness of it in the outer expression. Be so determined in the refusal of acceptance of human creation and limitation that it cannot, by any kind of suggestion, find a place to anchor in your world. This is so important when you are moving in the midst of the tremendous impact of human discordant creation. But when you truly know that your mighty I Am presence is the only presence and intelligence acting, then you know you have the full power of the universe to accomplish your freedom for you. Therefore, you cannot fail. It is not a matter of can you succeed, but you must have it in this acknowledgement. Today has been a banner day for mankind. Because so many of the I Am students under Saint Germain are decreeing and sending forth into the mental and feeling world of mankind such freedom for America and humanity as is only conceivable to us as we know with the all-seeing eye. Thus is the greatest encouragement and strength given to the students everywhere, and only as their true inner vision clears will they fully understand how much this all means. Having before you the tremendous accomplishment in the past 40 years, then you must know, in the ever-increasing intensity of the greater creative activity, what must be accomplished in the next 2 years. For the first time since the height of achievement on Atlantis is the mass of mankind having the understanding and application of the mighty I Am presence that enables such transcendent achievement to take place. As more and more of mankind receive and apply this wondrous freedom which the I Am discourses give, with the assistance of the great cosmic law, they will see and understand what a privilege is theirs to give this assistance. The ascended host of masters thank Donald and the students for their splendid decrees for the freedom of America and mankind. Their far-reaching power is tremendous. I wish that I might speak personally to all the students who are so earnestly applying the mighty law of their mighty I Am presence. Yet do I have patience, knowing that opportunity shall arrive, as the greater destructive momentum of mankind is dissolved and consumed. Often do I speak to the hearts of the students, as their love is sent like an arrow to me. Thus I am in the hearts of all who call to me, or anyone or all of the ascended masters. Let no one desire to transcend or replace these beloved messengers in this light and expression of the I Am that Saint Germain has given forth. They have proven their ability to stand in the light and with no personal desire carry unselfishly the pure, unadulterated message of the mighty I Am presence, and until the ascended masters come forth in their tangible, visible bodies, they will remain the direct messengers of Saint Germain, myself, and others of the ascended masters. It is only through their joyous and willing obedience to our slightest wish that it has been possible to bring forth this expression and understanding of the I Am, in the purity and clearness in which it is expressed today. The students will be wise indeed to stand steadfast in
no matter how great their inspiration.
to stand steadfast in their use of unveiled mysteries, the magic presence, the I Am discourses, and the I Am adorations and affirmations. For those words are cups that carry the fullness of the ascended master's perfection into the consciousness of the individual. And there is naught else in the outer world today that will carry this conviction with so great a power.
A tremendous effort will be made to anchor the full conviction and accomplishment of the Ascended Master's consciousness into the hearts and minds of the students at the Shrine class and all future classes.
Special arrangements have been made for this purpose, for the future activity of the work. A great reception is planned for the students of the I Am at the Royal Teton on New Year's Eve. Saint Germain will describe this to you on New Year's Day. Having observed the activity with the students and the great expansion of the light within the hearts of so many, It has caused great rejoicing of all the ascended masters to find, after so many centuries of earnest endeavor, at last the achievement so long sought. We expect some great changes in governmental and international activities, and we want the students of the I Am and mankind everywhere to feel greatly encouraged. 8. We shall endeavor to make the Voice of the I Am the most sought-after periodical of the day. Being the voice of the I Am, it should be. It is my wish, and that of the host of Ascended Masters, that all students of the I Am firmly decree this and stand by it. This will enable transcendent things to be done through it. We thank Mr. Sindelar for having accepted the charge. My love and blessings, and that of the host of Ascended Masters, enfold the students of the I Am everywhere and all mankind. For we are pouring forth through the mental and feeling world of mankind this day, when their attention is lifted to the heights.
Tremendous consuming power to dissolve forever all discord.
And replacing it by the mighty constructive activity of the mighty I Am presence, to produce and sustain the glory of that perfection which we experience and have it made manifest on earth. I clothe the students of the I Am everywhere in the garment of the ascended Jesus Christ, that they may know, feel, and experience that freedom which I have and which I am. In the everlasting light of eternal freedom, I am. Jesus the Christ. U-N-E-D.
Benediction. Saint Germain.
A-I-N-T-G. We call the full power of the mighty I Am presence and the ascended host of masters into full action and manifestation, producing and holding their mighty dominion everywhere, clothing all earnest students of the light with the invincible garment of protection and infinite directing wisdom, to fill their worlds with harmony and perfection, and to supply them with all the good that is required for their comfort and happiness. May each student arise in the fullness of his mighty I Am presence, meet this great outpouring, and hold his conscious dominion in that eternal freedom which is poured forth for their blessing. We rejoice in the fullness, in the accomplishment of this day. My love and blessings enfold all. Saint Germain. Copyright Saint Germain Press 196. G-I-N. Thou in
Saint Germain's New Year's Discourse, January 1st, 1936, Los Angeles, California. Saint Germain, Invocation.
Thou infinite, mighty I Am presence, whose wondrous light fills the universe. We stand glorified in thy glorious radiance. Like jewels sent forth for the finishing of the facets that produce such marvelous luster, so are the children of light, in the acknowledgement of thy wondrous presence, being made the finished jewels of thy heart. For in their wondrous acknowledgement of thee is their ability to become the perfect jewel which thou hast mounted in the human form, that may be perfect or otherwise, according to the choice or decree of the outer self. We give praise and rejoice greatly that the day is at hand for thy perfection to come forth in full power to all who sincerely look to thee. Fete I. In describing
The Discourse.
In describing to you the activity that took place at the Royal Teton last night, it is with a heart filled with joy and sincerest gratitude to the many, many students who went forth in their higher mental bodies to the Royal Teton to observe the activities and receive the enormous blessing awaiting them there. 7,700 students were guests of the Ascended Masters at the Royal Teton from 10 o'clock last evening to 4 o'clock this morning. Not in 200,000 years has such a wondrous event taken place. I may not name the students who were there, but those who were will never feel quite the same again. Many viewed the three bodies in the crystal caskets with great wonderment, and as further activities with those bodies are again to take place, it was a notable event and means much to those who were observers. The outer activity of mankind knows so little, even now, of the transcendent things that are in their midst, that it is with great blessing that we keep calling their attention to these things which seem unusual to the outer. This has a tremendous underlying purpose. Cyclopeia in directing the mighty currents of energy through the all-seeing eye, and the call of the many students of the I Am, drawing the walls of light around America, have rendered tremendous service, in that it has prevented a tidal wave striking the western coast, which was thought would have come into action the 2nd of January, 1936. I remind mankind of this service, that they may know the great protection and blessing that is being given them. How much more wonderful it is that mankind might be enjoying the Tournament of Roses than to be in the throes of a destructive activity. As was rendered on the eastern coast a little more than a year ago, so has a great service been rendered at this time to the western coast. To the sincere students of the I Am all over America, I am sure this knowledge will be of great encouragement and strength to them, to call the mighty I Am presence into action everywhere to dissolve and consume all human destruction, and replace it by the perfect activity of the mighty I Am presence. This year, the activity of sending forth the great globes of light, charged with a specific activity, were sent forth all over the earth to discharge their intelligent energy to dissolve and consume the destructive activity of mankind throughout the earth. This, we trust, will bring about a greater stabilization and intelligent activity among all official activities of the earth, so as to bring about some very desirable changes. The calling forth by the students of the mighty I Am presence to fill all official places with its perfection has given tremendous assistance, and we trust each day that activity will grow greater. How very great is our love and gratitude to the students throughout America who are making this earnest call, thereby giving such blessed service. It was decided last night that Cyclopeia, the Silent Watcher, and the Great Divine Director are to work in conjunction for the next 3 years with the Legion of Light to bring about certain harmonious accomplishment which they alone can do. To the degree that the students of light understand this and give their conscious cooperation, will many astonishing things be made possible. Never in the history of the earth has so much conscious blessing and protection been given to the earth, and this could only be given now because of the incoming age of great perfection. The mighty sustained uplift that will come to the students of the I Am presence from their visit to the Royal Teton last night will cause them to know and feel with great assurance the mighty stream of light into which they have entered. The destructive forces in Europe are not finding the easy achievement they have anticipated, and we trust that the fangs of the sinister activity may yet be completely drawn, and hundreds of thousands more set free in the mental and feeling world to call forth the blessing, protection, and freedom of the mighty I Am presence to produce its greater and greater perfection everywhere. My heart goes out so earnestly to the few of the beloved students of light who have allowed themselves to be temporarily turned aside from the great stream of light and intelligent energy, which this activity and understanding of the presence would bring forth for them. But such is the free will of the individual, and we can only call their mighty I Am presence into action to protect and bless them, and one day again bring them back into this understanding of the mighty I Am presence, which is their freedom. Perhaps I should say to the blessed ones that there were students in attendance last night from every class that has been held in America, and we trust the 1st of July, 1936, will enable as many more to attend, or even a greater number, than were present last night. Not in over 400,000 years have so many students been prepared and permitted to visit a single retreat, as was experienced last night in the Royal Teton, showing how very great is the expansion of the light within the hearts of mankind and within the consciousness of the individual. that they may feel an interest and sincere desire for the great perfection which to some degree is felt within every human heart. Now the students of the light are coming to know with no uncertainty the joy and perfection which can be theirs. O beloved students of the light everywhere! I know you must feel with great assurance that when you call your mighty I Am presence into action to produce a given constructive result, there is nothing to resist it, nothing in the entire universe to prevent its full accomplishment. Oh, for the students to feel the majestic truth of this, that when they make application, calling their mighty I Am presence into action, it cannot fail in any way. The law of its being and their being is that it must fulfill that unto which it is directed. Knowing that the presence is all perfection, manifesting all wisdom, then it is certain that only harmonious and perfect results can come from its application.
Oh, for the students to feel with a joyous heart.
That when they call the mighty I Am presence into action, it simply moves forth, dissolving and consuming all human discord or destructive activity, and fills that place with its mighty harmony and perfection. This releases the fulfillment of every requirement, whether it be money, health, harmony, justice, or the mighty directing intelligence that all mankind need at this time. Through mankind's attention, vision, and power of qualification, individuals have the full scepter of dominion and key that unlocks for them the great treasure house of the universe to fill their worlds with all the perfection that 15. Any heart can desire. I charge the feeling of every reader of this with the full conviction that the mighty I Am presence that beats each heart holds within itself, ready to release at their call, the fulfillment of every constructive desire of the heart. Knowing that it only requires the harmony of feeling and the sincere determined call of the student or individual to release quickly everything desired from the presence, then they know that the words lack and failure are forever stricken out of their consciousness and use, for these are words and activities that the presence never knows. They are but human distortions which have no power. I urge the students everywhere to study, study, study. Apply, apply, apply the knowledge of the presence given in the I Am discourses with great determination, and complete freedom is yours. These great laws do not apply themselves, or you would have long, long ago been perfect beings. Therefore, it is self-evident that it does require your determined application of this knowledge of the presence to have the perfection which it is and contains.
The tall master from Venus, with his 12 associates, started last night a tremendous service from the earth and its inhabitants.
The nature of this activity I may not describe to you at this time, but I call it to your attention that through your attention they can work to greater and greater advantage. I urge the students everywhere, do not yield to the fascination of the beautiful things you may see, but ever keep your attention and chored upon the presence. Who is the giver of all your heart so fondly desires? For as long as your attention can be held upon the pleasant things you might see, so long are you retarding your reception of the blessings and freedom which the presence holds for you. I see so many students who are inclined to be held by the fascination of the things that they see, that I must sound this warning to put them on guard and prevent their being caught in this subtle activity. For in your presence and from your presence is the only place you will find peace, rest, freedom, and the abundant supply of every good thing you require for use. So again I say, mighty I Am presence, take command of each mind and body. Cause them to be non-recordant to anything but your mighty perfection. Hold them so close in your embrace of light that they have but one desire, to be thy perfection and light. In this most wonderful of new years, which holds such blessings and freedom for so many, I rejoice beyond all words and clothe every student of the I am with that great feeling of victory, which I have for them, and charge it with my full power and feeling of victory, that they may go forth dauntless in the acknowledgement of their presence and its application, so all may quickly have that victory and freedom which we have. In the coming 6 months, I will do everything possible the law of each one's being permits to assist them to their eternal victory. 17.
Benediction.
Mighty I Am Presence. Having transcended all human limitation and creation by our self-conscious effort and application of thy great laws, we call the full power of thy combined love, wisdom, and power into all-powerful action to set every student of the I Am Presence free forever, eternally sustained by thy courage and directing wisdom. Cause each one to feel the full activity of this hourly, daily, until every vestige of human discord and creation has forever disappeared from their pathways. The eternal love of the combined host of ascended masters enfold all and raise them into their eternal freedom. Saint Germain. Copyright EXPLAN. The
Explanation of the chart.
upper figure in the chart represents the electronic body of the mighty I Am Presence, which is the individualized focus of God, who creates the physical body. The circles of color around the electronic body represent the causal body. This is the accumulated good of all previous embodiments, and is composed of all substance constructively used in previous lives. It is a reservoir of energy constructively qualified, being the sum total of all previous self-conscious effort toward perfection. The rays of light going forth from the presence are the divine mind or love in action, continually pouring out its gifts of perfection into the use of the human personality. The lower figure represents the physical body, surrounded by the violet consuming flame, held within the pillar of steely white light pouring down from the presence. The white light of the pillar forms a wall of protection around the physical, emotional, and mental bodies and acts as an insulation to all discord and destructive creation of the outer world. Between the electronic body and the physical is the higher mental body, which is the discriminating, selective intelligence that knows the perfection of the presence and the imperfection which. The human has drawn about the physical body, but refuses to accept the imperfection. It knows the requirements of the physical life, reaches into the presence, and draws forth whatever is needed to change outer conditions into perfection. When the student calls to his mighty I Am Presence to surround him with the electronic circle of protection and to pass through his mind and body the violet consuming flame, the presence instantly projects this wall of light and violet flame around the physical, emotional, and mental bodies. Thus, the student of light can move in the world and yet be unaffected by the discordant, destructive creation of other human beings, as well as the accumulated discord of humanity in the past.
Everyone must someday, sometime, somewhere consciously call forth this pillar of protection around his human personality in order to cut himself free from the surrounding influence of the outer world and attain his ascension.
This is the law of the individual's life, and the way by which he becomes the ascended master and manifests perfection in all his activities. The Ballards. COPY FAFIR. The
Affirmations.
ascended masters and the messengers messengers ask every student to feel his individual responsibility in calling the mighty I Am presence into action daily for the invincible protection of America and to keep his feelings harmonized that this may be done. I am. Ascended Master Guards, raised up everywhere for all students of the light and America, sealing them in the heart of the mighty I Am presence forever, and keeping them in conscious communion with the Ascended Masters. It is the messenger's request that all students of the light use this for every other student throughout the earth. Hay came, and they conquered without the blare of trumpets, practically unheralded, with no newspaper pub like the Arabs they came into town. Whom do I mean? Why, the Ballards, of course. A few lucky ones who had read Unveiled Mysteries were thus prepared and attended their first lecture at the Friday Morning Club in Los Angeles. By the next night, they were turning so many away that they had to take the larger hall. After a couple of lectures, they were compelled to move to the Trinity Auditorium, which they filled.
The demand was so great that they had to give a second course, also to packed houses at the Trinity Auditorium.
Never had people been so stirred. The entire town was talking of our beloved messengers, the Ballards, and their marvelous message. They went to Santa Barbara. All who had cars and could go followed them. In Santa Barbara, they had 2 packed houses. From there to San Francisco, where their fame had preceded them, and 1,800 people awaited them. I met people who drove 50 miles to the lectures and 50 miles home each night. Never have I seen a more sincere, studious group than that San Francisco class. They went to Seattle, where they accomplished a very great work for America. They met stubborn opposition there at first, but it goes without saying, they conquered. Before 2 days had passed, transcendent work was accomplished. The messengers returned to Los Angeles, where the entire town of right-thinking seekers of the light met them with open arms, filled the Trinity, and turned hundreds away. The same tremendous success followed in Pasadena, where great things were accomplished, and in Long Beach, countless healings took place during the lectures. After a week at San Diego, they returned to Los Angeles and the Shrine, the largest auditorium in the world. People stood in line for hours before each lecture, and that huge place was filled with such earnest, enthusiastic students that when you entered the door, you were flooded with such peace, love, and light that you felt as if you were just beginning to live after years of groping in the dark. Never will I forget the last day. It was truly a love feast. The stage was beautiful with white floral pieces and decorations. Mrs. Ballard was a beautiful white lily with the face of a rose. Mr. Ballard and Don on either side of her were attired in white, and finally the staff, all in white, made a most impressive picture. Mr. Ballard was never more powerful, and one seeing and hearing the Ballards could easily understand why St. Germain had chosen them as his beloved messengers. Don was a dynamo. His voice rang out in that vast place like a trumpet call to arms. They are the only people I ever met who really live the life. I have been closely connected with them day and night and have always found them loving, helpful, and gracious, really living what they teach. The lights were wondrous, and everyone felt the presence of the Ascended Masters. I personally felt such an outpouring of love that I expressed then, what I say now. A lifetime of devotion and loving service could not half express my gratitude for the service these dear messengers are giving to the world. They have become a blazing torch, carrying the light to countless millions of hungry souls who have searched for years for this transcendent truth. So when they went to other fields, our love and blessing went with them. May the mighty I Am Presence protect, guide, and guard them forever. And now again they are back, and the entire state of California is welcoming their return. Again, they have flooded our city with such light as has never before been known. Light, light, and more light, the light of God that never fails. Guh. Aunt Germain has given to the young people of America in the I Am Dyslegy courses the golden key.
Young America.
Aunt Germain has given to the young people of America in the I Am discourses the golden key to every problem. Which can confront them throughout their entire lives. This work is his gift of love, light, and freedom to all mankind, and does make heaven manifest on earth. The young people of the new cycle, which has already begun, are the builders of the incoming civilization in America, and they must have revealed and explained to them the ideal of the ascended masters. If they are shown an ideal that is transcendent, satisfactory, perfect, and yet possible of accomplishment, they will make their best effort in life to overcome the imperfections and limitations which have bound the generations of the past. However, the ideal must be explained to them from the standpoint of immutable, inexorable, yet beneficent law, so that they realize in applying it, they can obtain an 100% result at all times. Then, they are enabled to feel a security which cannot come in any other way. Only this teaching of the mighty I Am Presence, which contains the words of the ascended masters enfolded in their flame of divine love, can help anyone or solve any problem on earth today. It alone can release the light required to be the protection and strength which wins the victory and brings in the perfection all crave. If the young people will call the mighty I Am Presence into action at all times to teach them whatever they wish to know, still the feelings of the physical body and quiet the intellect, the presence will reveal its limitless light and perfection. This will enable them to feel a security, peace, and joy that will give them the impulse to make the greatest effort to be perfection, the ideal made real. We know the thing all young people need to use continually is mighty I Am Presence. Take command of my mind, body, being, and world. Charge me with thy ascended master self-control and management. Express your perfection in and through me forever. Whenever the student desires a constructive activity, say to the presence, mighty I Am Presence, give me that through divine love and keep it forever self-sustained. Our request to all the young people is to call to your mighty I Am Presence forever in everything you desire to do, and you will have miracles beyond your fondest dreams. We bless you, beloved ones of the light, with the full ascended master victory in all you desire to do. Lovingly, T.H.E. Bullards. Affirmations. Mighty I Am Presence, seize this feeling, annihilate its cause and effect forever, and replace it by your ease, peace, and perfection eternally self-sustained. Mighty I Am Presence and Saint Germain, claim now and forever into the service of the light, and bless infinitely with your ascended master consciousness and victory of the mighty I Am Presence. Mighty I Am Presence, replace this condition by a mountain of thy divine love and set all free in the perfection of thy heart, self-sustained. Mighty I Am Presence, thy light through every cell of my body until its radiance comes through my flesh. Future appearance.